They said, "No one escapes from here." 6 hours later, she walked out of Gestapo headquarters. "No one gets out of here, especially not you." The Gestapo interrogator had said it to her face, cold, certain, threatening. Then he locked the door, put the key in his pocket, laughed. February 23rd, 1944, 11:47 p.m., Berlin. Gestapo headquarters, Europe's most secure building, 7 floors, 200 guards, checkpoints at every door, patrols in every corridor. No one had escaped from here, ever. On the 3rd floor, in a small cell, a 29-year-old woman sat. Her hands were tied, her eyes were swollen, her lip was split. She'd been interrogated for 3 hours. For 3 hours, she'd said nothing. The officer had left her alone. "Think about it," he'd said. "You have until morning. Then things get worse." The woman sat in the dark cell. She looked out the window, 7 floors up. Below, she could see the street, people walking, free people. Then she made a decision. She wouldn't wait for morning. At 11:53 p.m., with her hands still bound, she opened the door, stepped into the corridor, and began history's most audacious escape. 6 hours later, she walked out of a building with 200 guards, locked doors, and patrol teams. Walking through the front door, and the Gestapo just watched. In official records, her name appeared only as a code, Agent 47. Her real identity remained classified even 50 years after the war. But there were a few clues. She was French, grew up in Paris, spoke flawless German. In 1940, when France fell, the woman was 25. She was a teacher. But when the war started, teaching wasn't enough. She joined the resistance movement. At first, she only carried messages, then forging documents, then espionage. In 1943, she escaped to London, was trained by the Special Operations Executive, SOE. For 6 months, she learned sabotage, code-breaking, identity-changing, interrogation resistance, and most importantly, staying calm. In early 1944, she was sent to Germany. Mission: learn and transmit Nazi military plans in Berlin. For 6 weeks, she succeeded. But on February 23rd, something went wrong. Someone informed. The Gestapo captured her, and now she was in Europe's most secure building. Berlin Gestapo headquarters was located at Prinz Albrechtstrasse 8. It was a former hotel building, but now it was a house of terror. 7 floors, over 200 rooms. Each floor served a different purpose. Ground floor, administrative section, entry controls, identity checks, metal detectors. 2nd floor, archives and filing. Every prisoner was recorded. Every interrogation was documented. 3rd floor, interrogation rooms, small cells, dark corridors, screams. 4th and 5th floors, offices for Gestapo officers. 6th and 7th floors, senior Nazi officials. On each floor, there were at least 20 guards. At each door, key control. In each corridor, patrols. Escaping from the building was considered impossible. From 1942 to 1944, over 4,000 people had been brought to this building. None had escaped. Some had tried, been caught, been killed. Others had chosen not to try. But that night, one woman tried and succeeded. The woman sat in the cell. Her hands were tied, but they were tied in front, not behind. This was a small mistake, a small oversight by the Gestapo. The woman rubbed her wrists. The rope was tight, but not thick. She worked slowly. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Then the rope loosened, a bit more, and finally her hands were free. She looked at the door, locked, but the lock was simple. an old hotel lock. In SOE training, she'd learned how to pick old locks using a hairpin, or wire, in her pocket was a small piece of wire. The guards hadn't seen it when they searched her. It was too small, but it was enough. She worked the lock with the wire, slowly, silently. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then a click sound. The lock opened. She slowly opened the door. The corridor was empty. But in the distance, there was a guard. His back was turned. He was smoking. The woman didn't wait. She walked silently in the opposite direction. The guard had his back turned. Didn't hear. The woman reached the stairs on the 3rd floor. But going down wasn't easy. Because on each floor there was a guard, and each guard checked everyone passing. The woman made a plan. She'd gotten out of the cell, but now she couldn't look like a prisoner anymore. She had to look different, legitimate. In the corridor, she saw a supply closet. Opened it. Inside were cleaning uniforms. She took one, put it on. Now she didn't look like a prisoner, but like a cleaning worker. She walked to the stairs. The guard saw her. "Stop," he said. The woman stopped, stayed calm, spoke in German. "Cleaning, 3rd floor. Cleaning at midnight. Special order. From Officer Mueller." The guard hesitated. Officer Mueller existed. On the 3rd floor. But cleaning at midnight. Strange. "Your ID?" "Upstairs. Left it on the desk." The guard looked at the woman. She looked tired, old, harmless. "Go ahead," he said, "but don't forget it again." The woman nodded and went down the stairs. On the 2nd floor, there was the archive section. Here there were more guards and more controls. As the woman walked down the corridor, a guard stopped her. "Who are you?" "Cleaning." "Your ID?" The woman checked her pocket. "Left it upstairs." The guard got angry. "How do you forget?" "Is this the 2nd time?" The woman apologized. "I'm old." "Forgetful. Please, I'm very tired. I just want to do my job." The guard looked at her. Was she old? Maybe 45. She looked tired. Harmless. "Okay, but don't let it happen again, or I'll write a report." The woman thanked him and passed. The ground floor was the hardest, because here there was identity control. Everyone passing had to show ID, name, record had to be checked. The woman stopped at the end of the corridor, looked ahead. There was a control desk, 2 guards, a logbook, a telephone. If she went to that desk, they'd ask for ID. She had no ID, she'd be caught. But there was another way. In the side corridor, there was a cleaning supply room. From there, you could reach the back stairs. The back stairs led directly to the back entrance. The woman moved to the side corridor. Found the cleaning room. Went down the back stairs and reached the back entrance. But the back entrance was also locked, and there was a guard. The guard was half asleep. The night shift was long, boring. No one used the back entrance. The woman approached him. "Good morning." The guard startled. "Who's there?" "Cleaning." "My shift is over. I'm leaving." The guard looked at her. She had a cleaning uniform. Looked old. Harmless. "Your ID?" The woman searched her pocket. "Ah, I left it on the desk inside." Should I go back and get it? The guard thought. Go back? That meant the woman would go back inside, get the ID, come out again. Too much trouble. And it was already morning. Shift change was coming soon. Okay. This time, go ahead. But next time, don't forget. The woman thanked him. The guard opened the door, and the woman walked out. On the street, the air was cold. The sun hadn't risen yet, but the sky was lightening. The woman walked slowly. didn't run, because running would create suspicion. She just walked, calm, tired, normal. 2 blocks later, she turned into an alley, took off the cleaning uniform. Underneath, she had civilian clothes, put on her hat, and disappeared. The Gestapo discovered the escape at 7 a.m. Alarms were raised, all streets were blocked, but it was too late. The woman was long gone. The woman reached the French border 3 days later. A month later, she returned to London, gave her report. The commanders couldn't believe it. "How did you escape from the Gestapo building?" The woman gave a simple answer. "I didn't escape. I walked out. Because I didn't act like someone escaping. I acted like I belonged there." The war ended. The woman returned to Paris, went back to teaching, never spoke about it. But in her home, in a frame, there was an old photograph, a street in Berlin, and a note below. Sometimes the best escape is not to escape at all. In history's pages, there are hundreds more forgotten heroes like this. In the next video, we'll tell another extraordinary story. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it, because these stories are waiting to be told. Thanks for watching. See you next time.